Hello everybody, my name is Paul Achinohe, and today I'm going to be doing my presentation on the steam engine, the machine that helps shape the Industrial Revolution. So the first question is, who invented the steam engine? There are several opinions on who created the steam engine. Many claim that from 1769 to 1775, James Watt was the first man to create a functional version of the steam engine. Others believe that Thomas Newcomen was the first to create the steam engine, which Watt based his design on, which was the Newcomen's atmospheric engine in 1712. The first functional version of a steam engine, a machine that would raise water, was created by Thomas Savery in 1698. Savery's design was created to assist miners who needed a way to remove water from the tunnels they created. These three men were instrumental in the progress of steam-powered engines that would give way to new, more efficient ways of transportation. Why was it originally invented? And does it still hold the same value and purpose? The original steam engine was created by Thomas Savery for the purpose of draining water out of the mines. This was instrumental because, at the time, the only way that miners could get water out of their tunnels was by picking it up in a bucket and taking it out of the mines. So the Industrial Revolution was the perfect place for these sort of machines to develop, as every industry depended on manual labor. Newcomen's and Watt's steam engine provided mines with a continuous drainage of water, and their designs were not hand-operated, unlike Thomas Savery's. Further improvements would lead to smaller, more powerful versions of this original steam engine, thus leading to steam-powered machines capable of moving. The steam engine would come to be implemented in all forms of transportation, from locomotives, tractors, and even precursor automobiles. As new forms of fuel and the combustion engine arose, the need for steam engines declined rapidly. They soon found applications which were less industrial-based. Steam engines are actually still found to this day in the form of boilers, which heat many houses today. So we can see from 1705, Thomas Newcomen actually developed the atmospheric engine. It wasn't until 1712 that he first installed his first commercial engine. So from that point on, the next 50 years, Newcomen's engines are installed in metal mines all over England. And in 1769, John Speedon starts to improve the Newcomen engine. A couple years later, in 1781, James Watt develops the compound steam engine. This engine could be used on steam trains, but it wasn't. 1790, Newcomen's engine is completely replaced by James Watt's engine. And finally, in the 1800s, Richard Trevithick invented the first high-pressure steam engine. And this is a pivotal point because before then, all steam engines were of a low power, low pressure, which meant that they couldn't power up anything that was heavier than themselves. So in 1825, this was actually the first public passenger train ran by the engine active, traveled between Darlington and Stockton, carried 450 passengers at 15 miles per hour. And the first railroad is built in Great Britain in 1825 as well. 1829 was when George Stephenson designed the rocket, a steam train capable of pulling many loads, including passengers. And in 1829, from this time on, railways spread rapidly through Britain, Europe, and North America. What are the significant features of the steam engine? Well, the steam engine has been developed over the years, but the basic concept remains the same. So the energy created by steam provided power sources for many of the earliest industrial machinery. This would later provide a form of transportation that was faster than the contemporary forms like horse-drawn carriages. And steam-powered vehicles and machines were revolutionary at the time. Steam would later lead to many other forms of fuel in the development of the combustion engine. What was the steam engine made of, and how did it work? The steam engine consisted of a heat source, boilers, the motor unit, a cool sink, water pumps, and a governor. So the water was heated up to a point where the boilers would become compressed with the steam, and the steam would pass through the motor units. the pistons would set in motion through the pressure of the steam, and then a back and forth motion from the pistons. The resulting energy would then force a series of interlocking gears providing motion. Any waste of steam could be expelled or reintroduced back into the boiler, continuing the locomotion. The importance of the steam engine. The steam engine was one of the most important inventions of the Industrial Revolution. It provided a source of energy that would replace hand-operated machines. The implications that steam power provided were numerous and could be used to increase productivity in a factory, carry large loads of raw materials great lengths, and used to transport people across the country in a short period of time. Many of the greatest feats in American history, maybe the greatest feat in American history was the Transcontinental Railway. This provided a transportation system that would connect the east and west coast over extensive landscape. Europe's industry thrived through the use of steam power, as factories flourished as manpower was regulated to machines powered by steam. The Industrial Revolution was heavily reliant on the steam engine, as it provided a source of energy that did not require manpower to fully operate it. Those steam engines were replaced by newer, more reliable forms of power. Without it, these innovations may never have come about. And so the most important part to remember is that the steam engine may not be relevant today, but it does have its basis on a lot of the things that were necessary for the Industrial Revolution, which was less manpower, a more efficient way to produce goods, and to transport them as well. I think that the steam engine was probably the most important invention of of the turn of the century because of this point. Without it, the combustion engine may never have been actually created, or it may have been created later on down the road. The most important part to remember is that steam was a necessary point in the Industrial Revolution. And I hope that everyone can agree with that point, and that concludes my presentation. Alright, thank you very much, guys.